Alright guys and girls, welcome to another episode of Astral Auto Repairs. Can you dig it? Alright, you know what this is. This is this 1991 Toyota Corolla, and it was just a whole mess. The bolt broke, the harmonic balancer messed up everything. So we got the bolt out and everything. Now, let's see, it's supposed to rain today, but let's see if we can get these parts together and get this thing running. Alright, coming up on Astral Auto Repairs. This channel is a member of the Astral Stars, which means we have a zero tolerance policy against the harassment of others. Anybody who violates that policy will be banned. For further information, please visit www.theastralstars.com. Alright guys, the first thing I'm going to do, we got to get this motor mount out of the way. And what I'm going to do is take our jack, put a block of wood on it, put it up under the oil pan, pick it up to relieve some pressure off this engine, and then we're going to unbolt this. Now there is two bolts, two nuts on the bottom of here. Problem is, I think I only filled one. Let's go up under here and see. Yeah, that's going to get way up there. It's going to be, you got to go look way up in there like that.
Where?
Let me see. No, it's way
well, you show me
up there.
Point up there, because I can see things, but I'm not sure
I'll
where
put
it
my
is.
finger there. So put my, right here.
Hold on, let me move the... Okay. Yeah?
Okay, now is there a bolt nut over here? Nope.
That's sun blinding.
No, there's nothing there. But there is one here. I think. Yeah, that's something.
Yeah, only one.
Alright guys, we'll be right back. Alright guys, I got my hydraulic jack up under there, got a block of wood up under the oil pan, and I picked the jack up just a little bit just to keep the pressure off of that. Now what I got is a 14mm deep 1/2 inch drive, and look, what is this? A 9 1/4 inch 1/2 inch drive extension. And what I'm going to do here is go up there, take out that top nut. There's supposed to be two. I'm going to see if I got another one to go up there too. Alright, let's go get the top one. We'll be right back. Alright guys, now we're on the top. We got a 14mm bolt right here. So I'm using my same 14mm, but this time I'm not using an extension. Take that one out. Drop your tool. Dang it, that's enough. Alright, then, to finish taking the mount out, we got a 17mm bolt right here. So I'm using a 17mm deep 3/8 drive with my big bill. Okay. Alright, let's get that out and we'll be right back. Alright guys, then we take the bolt out, take our mount out, and what we can do is just stick the bolts back in there, and we're going to set this to the side. We'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing we're going to do, in order to get our belt off, we got the rest of the cover. We got some of the bolts out already. Now we're going to have to remove this belt tensioner pulley right here. And it's held on by a 14mm nut. So I'm going to use a 14mm shallow 3/8 drive socket with my 3/8 drive wrench. And once you loosen that up, pretty much going to be really loose, that you can go ahead down there and take off the rest by hand. There's the nut. There's this big thing. It's like a washer, but it's not. It's just to hold the bearing in place so the pulley can spin. So you want to pull everything off. And be careful, just like that. Comes off right there. Okay, it goes just like that. And then the nut. Alright, so now our cover is free to come out. And our timing belt. There is a lot of oil in it, guys. Let's spray this up a little bit. Try to clean this up. Man, this is all right. I'll be right back. All right, guys. The next thing we're gonna do is I clean this up a little bit. We're gonna install our cam seal and our crank seal. Let me remove this bolt first. And before we do that, we're going to have to lubricate both the cam and the crank so the seals can go on better. And so that means we're going to be using a little white lithium grease, and we're using the method, the 007. Yeah, buddy, look at that with the Q-tip. So we're going to put that around here, because you do not want to damage that seal putting it on, or this thing going to be pouring out oil everywhere. And don't be cheesy with it. Put it up there. Alright, so then I'm going to go down there, and if you can look right down there, you can be able to see. Alright, we're going to do both of those, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, the first thing we're going to do is put our cam seal on. Now you got to be careful, because as you're pushing this on, it's a very good chance that that seal will fold in, and that spring will hold that seal up against the shaft, will just come out. So what I like to do here is, I like to get me a small flat screwdriver, put the seal up there, put the screwdriver into the seal, and just work all the way around there. So that way you know that seal is going on perfect. Alright, and then once it's into place, I got me a 36mm socket, which will go over the shaft on there like that. Take me a little hammer, and this way you hit it right in the center of the hammer, and just the socket, just tap that right into place. Make sure it's flush. Go a little bit more. Okay. A little bit more on that side. And that is perfect, guys. Alright, now I'm going to go to the bottom, and you can see through there. Put this. Also, make sure now there's going to be two sides to the seal. One that's flat, and then there's one that's got an opening right here. This side right here goes onto the engine. Alright, so get that right there, get it lined up. Dang it. Dang it. This is not working. Why couldn't they make the seals so they go like this, so just push them on? Great, got it. Alright, get my socket. Hope I ain't bottoming out. I think so. That sucks. But at least I did get some of it in, so now I'm just take my hammer and carefully go around. And get the rest of it in. And if you want, you can take you an extension. Perfect, guys. That is perfect. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to set this tensioner. Now, if you see a spring right there.
Where's my camera? Focus. Okay. Yeah,
All right,
I see the spring.
now, what happens is the belt comes around this way, so the spring pulls this tensioner towards the belt. So what we got to do now is push this thing back over, all the way over to the side, so we can set our belt in. And you see that 14 millimeter bolt right there. So we're going to use our 14 millimeter shallow 3/8 drive with our 3/8 drive ratchet. We're not going to take that out. Only thing you're going to do is loosen that up. And watch what happens when I loosen it up. Watch the way that pulley moves. Somebody not supposed to have put this thing this tight. Okay, you saw how it moved in that way like that? So, it moved in there. Now you're going to have to tighten that bolt up. But before you tighten it up, take your pry bar or something and move that all the way over as far as it will go. Then, you go ahead and tighten that up. Not a lot, just snug it and it stays into place. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing we're going to do is mark our timing marks. For the cam, is this little indentation right there. Okay, and for the crank, it's this little dimple sticking out right there. Now let's start with the cam. When the cam is put on, you got a little hole right there. So when you put it on, that hole, in that hole, you should be able to see that timing mark. So, but first, what I'm gonna do is let's put our center bolt in there, 14 millimeter. I'm going to grab my impact, a cordless impact, 14 millimeter. I'm going to go ahead and tighten that up. Now, what we're going to do, guys, is you are going to look through the hole and tell me when I'm lined up right there. If I can... you know what? Hold on, guys. Let me go get a wrench to grab this camshaft. Right. All right, guys. You're going to be looking through between there, and I'm taking a 1-inch wrench, and I'm going to be moving the camshaft. So you just tell me when to stop.
It has to be in the middle, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, just a little more. A little more.
Sure, because right here.
Right there, looks good.
Right there?
Right there.
Okay, now that one's done. The next thing we're going to do is... Oh, I gotta go get the... Let me go get the new parts and all before we can do that. Be right back. Alright, guys. The first thing we'll do is take our half moon keyway and stick in there. And then I'm going to take a little hammer. Make sure that's down. Then our crank gear, and you can see I put the little pink mark on this one. That's got to line up with that dimple out of there. So let's slide that on. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is, where's the center bolt at? Biscuit. Alright guys, let me go get the center bolt, because I got to put the center bolt in there so we can turn this. Be right back. Alright guys, got the bolt in there, 17 millimeter deep, 3/8 drive. And what I want to do, I'm not going to bring this up to that, but what I want to do is stop right about there. And I'm going to tell you. What?
Stupid thing now goes blurry. Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to stop right about there. Being that, now, what we're going to do is put our timing belt on.
But
Huh?
we were trying to see the mark.
Oh, did you see it?
Yeah, but I mean...
Yeah, you got it.
Alright.
Alright, so what we're going to do is put our timing belt on. Now, this side has to have the tension. That's got to have tension right now. So what I'm gonna do is put the belt on right there. Put it on down here. Now it looks like, see, if I turn a little bit more, see, now I'm not on the teeth all the way right now. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take this sprocket and turn it. And tell me if it is that lined up.
I had to move.
Just a tiny bit more, I'd say.
Yeah, a little bit more.
Okay. Right there.
Yeah, that's good.
Or a little bit more.
No, it looks
Let me
good.
see. Okay, good. So it ain't that much. There's no play over here. There's a little bit. That's great. So now,
Right.
well, yeah, watch yourself for a minute. Don't get you dirty. Now what I gotta do is take my hand and bring the other side over around the tensioner right there. So now I'll mark everything is on. Everything is perfect. Matter of fact, let me push this belt back more. Okay. Then what I'm gonna do here is take my 14 millimeter shallow and I'm gonna loosen the bolt to the tensioner. And then the tensioner pulley is gonna snap back and hold that into place. Put tension on the belt. All right, perfect. But I'm not gonna lock that down yet. What we're gonna do now is slowly turn the engine over, because we need the tension to be all over here, and then we're gonna lock that in. So what we're gonna do here, get my 17 millimeter, and this time I'm gonna use my big bill because it's longer and got enough leverage for me to go ahead and turn that around. So I'm gonna go ahead, and at the same time, you gotta watch to make sure that belt don't walk off. What we're gonna do is turn all the way around. So you see that again. Bring it up. Perfect tension over there. Now this one's 90 degrees off. So what I can do here is, 180 off. You can go around one more time. Just get that to line up right there. Then we look through here. Perfect. Perfect timing. And now we go ahead and tighten it up. And guys, in case you're kind of nervous about this, like your spring might have wore out and all, what you can do, I'm going to remember this. Take your pry bar and go on the tensioner. You can see over this side. And you can just push it just a little bit. Just put a little pressure on it. Just a little added pressure and then reach down and tighten up the bolt. All right, and to tighten this up, that's all you gotta do, guys. Tighten it up till it stops, and then I'm gonna use both hands so it don't slip off. Then a little bit more. That's it, guys. That is perfect. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys. The next thing we do that was missing on this car is our timing belt guide. And you put that up there, it keeps that belt over that way without coming out. All right.
Can you show it one more time, because I was a little blurry.
Say it again?
Can you show it one more time?
All right.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I was a little blurry.
All right, we're going to put that on. The next thing we're going to do, guys, is, you know what? Let's, dang, this thing is really dirty. Guys, let me wipe this thing. This is the center part. Let me wipe this thing up. and I'll be right back. Alright guys, next thing we're going to do is start putting our covers on. I'm going to start from the bottom one. Put it on place. And we got 4 10mm bolts to go in there. And guys, you know how to tighten them up. Okay, what I got is a 10mm deep, 3/8 drive. And I got a 12-inch 3/8 drive extension. And I got my 3/8 drive ratchet, whatever it may be. And okay, and I'll show you one. What you're gonna do? Tighten it up till it stops, and a little bit more. That's it. That's all it's doing is holding on plastic. All right. Let's get the other 3 done, and we'll be right back. All right, guys. The next thing we're gonna do is go to our center section and put that on. What we got here to do is put on the 10mm bolt inside there. So what I'm going to do is make sure the socket, see if the socket can reach in there. Great, it can. So what I'm going to do is take my socket, get the bolt in there. I think it's going crooked, so dang it. I'm not removing my bracket. Alright guys, tell you what, let me get a swivel socket so I can make sure this bolt goes in there straight. Be right back. Alright guys, what I got here is a 10mm swivel socket, 1/4-inch drive, a 2-inch 1/4-inch drive extension, the bolt, and a leaf. Reason being, what I want to do is take the leaf, stick it onto the socket like this, put the bolt on it, just so it holds into place while I bring it down. Dang, stop going backwards with it.
Nothing loosey, very tighty.
What the heck? That bolt is way over there. Even still, I can't even. Alright, this is not going to be. I'm trying to get this without taking that bracket off. Finally. Alright, now I just want to start that a little bit because I will need these lined up. And I can't put those in because I have to go ahead and put the top cover on it. And then get the 4 10mm bolts that go up there. One bolt was right here with this, like this, but this is not a 10. They had a 5/16 bolt in there. Why? I don't know. 10mm stick in there. Alright, anyway, let's get these bolts in, guys, and we'll be right back. Alright, guys, we got all four bolts started. Now, we go ahead and tighten them up. Same thing, guys. Just plastic. It's just plastic. Go till it stops. A little bit more. Perfect. Alright, let's get the other 3 done, and we'll be right back. Alright, guys, the next thing we're going to do is put our idler pulley on. And what I'm going to do is take a pry bar. I'm going to stick my pry bar between back here because that's like a bolt that comes through there. So I'm just gonna hold that into place. I can put my pulley on and the washer in the front, and then the 14mm nut. And I'm just putting this on just until it stops by hand, because we're gonna definitely need to adjust for that. Alright, that's done. Alright guys, we'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing we'll do is put on our harmonic balancer. Now the keyway that we put on there, now it's got a little opening right there for that keyway. So now I'm not going to line it up. What I'm going to do is put it on like this, and then you just turn it until it snaps into place. Perfect. Now if you look over here guys, this is what we're going to do, because there is a little play in that shaft, but that's quite alright because we're doing it my way, which means we're doing it the good way. You're going to put some thread locker up there. That's going to seal this bolt, lock this bolt from coming out of there. So what you want to do is put a mount up there like that. Put it in there. And then that's a 17mm. I'm going to take my air gun. Dang it, the thing's over there. And I'm going to go ahead and tighten that up. Perfect, guys. That is perfect, man. That is definitely on the money. All right, let's go back up top. We'll be right back. All right, guys. The next thing we're going to put our our AC belt on. Now here's the tensioner right here. Remember this bolt right here? That's loose. The next thing we're going to do is take a 14mm shallow with a 12-inch 3/8 drive extension, and we got to loosen this up, and this tensioner is going to drop down. So that. Then, while that's dropped down, we get that. Dang it.
We drop the belt.
Yeah, you get the belt. Put it on. It's gonna need another belt. This thing is. Okay. Make sure all the grooves are lined up. Then you want to tighten this up a little bit more by hand. And then we're going to go back with our 14mm. This time we're going to tighten it up. And you want to tighten it up till you feel tension on the belt. Perfect. Once you get that, then you take your 3/8 drive ratchet with your 14mm shallow socket, and you go ahead and tighten this up. Tighten it up till it stops, and then a little bit more. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, the next thing we're going to do is put the alternator on. First thing, okay, next what we got to do is loosen up the alternator. The alternator belt on, yeah. We got a 14mm nut right there that we got to just loosen up. And I got my 14mm 3/8 drive with my 3/8 drive ratchet. Just going to loosen that up, and then on the back, on the top, there is a 12mm bolt, and we're just going to loosen that up. And once you loosen that up, the alternator will slide all the way in. All right, let's switch sides.
So the alternator acts as a tensioner?
Yes, it is. Alternator / tensioner. Oops, what the heck? What's this thing? Top to this stuff at. Hey, top to the
what?
The threads. I don't got time for this. Let's leave that to the side for now. Sylvia kicked it. I know she did. She was over here. She kicked it.
Oh my gosh! Can we worry about that later?
Worried about some bug around here.
There's one right there on the tire. Get rid of it.
No, I don't need this one.
One bounced
All
over
right.
here on the bumper.
This belt goes around the crankshaft, the water pump, and the alternator. Alright, there we go. Now, to tighten this up, what you want to do is get your pry bar and get your 12mm shallow socket. And I'm going to be using my big bill right now. Why you keep moving? What we're going to do is take our pry bar, stick it right between here, and we're going to pry back on the alternator. And while you're prying back, you're going to tighten up that bolt right there. Man, this thing, like all the way to the side, man. This thing should have been a little more better. Okay, let it go. And then we go down there and tighten up the 14mm. We'll be right back. Alright guys, the next thing we're going to do, let's get our motor mount set in. Then we're going to take our 14mm bolt. We're going to set that in by hand. Take our bolt out right here. Now we're not going to... Alright, then I'm going to reach up under here with the 14mm nut and put that on by hand. Now I'm not going to tighten this up yet because we got a bracket that goes right here. So I want to make sure that bracket will go in place. So I'm going to take out the 3 12mm bolts. Get our bracket. And put our bolts back in. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright guys, I had to take the bracket back off because I couldn't get to the bolt right there. So let's get this tightened up. 14mm. And then I'm going to go underneath with my 9 1/4 inch extension, 1/2 inch drive, my 14mm. And where is it? Right there. Okay. Then I can go ahead. Yes, those lines up. Put these bolts in. Be right back. Alright guys, I got the bolts back in. Now I got my 12mm deep 3/8 drive with my cordless impact. And I'm going to go ahead, tighten those 3 up. And then what we're going to do guys is let's bring this over this way now. Now what we're going to do guys is take a rag, wipe off all over here where the valve cover gasket goes. And we're going to take our valve cover and get ready and clean that up. What I mean by that, we're going to turn it over, take out the old gasket because we don't need that, and take out these spark plug tube seals. And one of them came out already, so let's see if we can reach in there and get one and show you guys how this comes out. Let me see if I can use my pry bar. Get my pry bar right to the side like that. Hold my foot down on it. These things are really, they ain't gonna be too easy to come out. There we go. Alright, let's get these other two out. We're gonna clean all that up and we'll be right back. Alright guys, now we're going to be installing the spark plug tube seals. And what you want to do here is take off the cap because you're going to be hitting down on this and you don't want this to break. Also remove your PCV valve. I'm trying to remove this one, but that thing looks like it's dry rotted, so we're going to have an issue with that. But what I'm going to do here is take me a 2x8, set it up like that. Make sure the PCV valve is hanging off the edge. And then what I'm going to do, I got here is a 1 7/16 inch socket. What I'm going to do here is take my 9 1/4 inch 1/2 inch drive extension. I'm going to use that as an installer. 2 ways you can see the seals. Make sure you put it on that side right there. just like this. So you want to make sure that's, push that down by hand, put your socket over it, get your hammer, and push that down. And make sure it's down, guys, and even. Perfect. Look at that. All right, let's get the other 3 in, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got those in. That is perfect. Next, we're going to put our valve cover gasket on. And that's all you gotta do is line it up and push it down, and it's going to stay right into place. Okay, but before we put this on, you're going to have to put a little silicone onto each corner. I'm going to show you what, not on the cover, but on the cylinder head. So we got this in. Let's bring this up to the engine, and then I'll show you what I mean. And also, have your 007. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, the first thing we're going to do, here's our spark plug tube seals. And what you want to do is just clean off just the top of them, any kind of dirt or grime or anything. Clean those off. Now, when you put your valve cover down, there is a possibility of it leaking right at the corners. This corner, and up here. And that's crazy. So what you want to do here, you want to take you a dab of silicone and put it on each of the 4 corners. These gnats are crazy. Dang it, gotta get that one. Alright, and I gotta get over there. And if you want, what you can do, dang it, get me another Q-tip and put it over in the corner. But what I'm gonna do, dang it, what the heck, man, this thing is. Now before I do that, take your Q-tip, your lithium grease. You want to do the 007 on the spark plug tube seals. Just want to put you a coat right around each one, so it can make sure it go down on there and be no bind up or break or anything. All right, so let's get that done. Put that other piece of other silicone in the corner and put this on. We'll be right back. All right, guys, this is what I'm talking about. Put a little bit on the Q-tip, and we're going to do the 007 right over there and put that in the corner, just like that. That is perfect. All right, the next thing we're going to do, guys, is take our valve cover. Make sure your hoses and everything going to be out of the way. And the front of your valve cover, it got a groove in it. That's going to go over your timing cover right there. So let's get this over. Turn this over. Lower it down. And then you're going to have to grab it and wiggle back and forth a little bit just to get it down onto those spark plug tube seals. Great, that's on the cover and all. Great. All right, matter of fact, while we got up here, let's hook up this hose. Oh, we got to get a new hose for this too. All right, let's get the grommets for this and the bolts. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we got our 3 grommets. You set them down. Make sure the metal side is facing up. Then you got your caps. Put them down. Okay. Then I got my 10mm deep 3/8 drive with my 12-inch 3/8 drive extension and my 3/8 drive ratchet. And you want to start from the center one. And you want to bring that down. Till it stops, and you can see how it squeezed the grommet and a little bit more. That's it. Let's do one more. We'll do over here together so you can see how the grommet squeezes out, so you can pretty much know when to stop. A little bit more. That's it. Let's get the other one done. We'll be right. And guys, what I'm gonna do? pull this off and get a new hose and change this at the same time. All right, we'll be right back. All right, guys, we got our new hose. It's getting ready to rain, so we're gonna be cutting this really close. Let's put our new hose on, bring the clamp up, and now bring our spark plug wires over, and we already got them all numbered. So let's push them into place until they snap down. All right, let's get that done, and we'll be right back.
Also, don't forget to put your oil cap back on.
Oh yeah, that too.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Now what I'm gonna do is lower the engine so I can get that mount lined up. It is actually starting to rain. Get our 17mm bolt through here. Get out a little bit more. Okay, got my 17mm deep 3/8 drive with my big bill. Dang it. Dang, go down a little bit more. Might be too much. Heck yeah, it's too much. This is what happens, guys, when you...
Why are you rushing?
Because it's starting to rain.
It's alright.
It ain't alright.
It's alright.
No, it ain't.
You got hat on, I got my hood. Things good.
Dang it, let me jack this up just a little bit. Still go to the front of the car, the front of the engine. So I can... There we go. All right, we got that. Now, one more thing, guys. This harness up here. We got the bracket over here that it just squeezed down onto. Then we got the long 10mm bolt that goes right here. Alright. Let's get our 10mm deep, 3/8 drive. Go till it stops and a little bit more. Okay, let's get the key and start this thing up. We'll be right back. Alright guys, before I do that, let's check the oil in this thing. Dang it. This don't have a drop of oil in it. Oh man, this thing is empty. But you know what, let's try, let's make sure it starts up first and everything good. Alright, let me try this out, get everything out of the way. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start it up, and what I want you to do is look at the top of the engine and go to the front of the engine. Look at the harmonic balancer.
Okay.
Look at that, guys. It's not even vibrating or anything. Let me shut this thing off. Alright guys, that is perfect. I mean, that sounded really good, except for not a drop of oil in it. So what I'm going to do now is let me put that front shield on and put the tire on. Then I'm going to talk to the customer, see if the customer got any oil. Then we can let this run a lot longer. Be right back. Alright guys, customer had 2 quarts of oil. We put it in there. It was 530, but hey, it's 530 is better than nothing. Now I can start it up and let it run for a little bit. Look at that, guys. Now also what we're going to be looking for, any oil spraying everywhere. Runs really good. And the main thing, look at the harmonic balancer and notice how straight it's turning. It's gonna need a radiator. Look right here, guys. Radiator's cracked. Nothing. Everything is great. Matter of fact, you see how long it was running. Let me back the car up right where that spot is. Huh? Yeah, all that's from before, because it would have been real fresh. So this came out great. All right, we'll be right back.
All right, so this is the conclusion on this 1991 Toyota Corolla. So if you guys have any comments or questions, you can post it below.